So they like to say that they're not the only ones doing it. That's what this video is about. The next video, I will talk about willpower and how this is connected. I should remember to put on the screen the article from the news, at least the headline, where it says that there's hazing, racism, and sexual violence. I don't think it's a coincidence. These are some of the most common topics in my videos these days, at least. And I've been talking about these things for years and years and years. It is very obvious that the word race and the word rape are connected. Racist and rapist. Think about the Klan. Think about the various racist groups that rape people, especially people who date a different race. Think about gang rapes and so on and so forth. It's part of cultures and religions and so on and so forth. It's pretty straightforward. Racist and rapist. Also, race and rate and race and pace. Okay. So the Nazi army basically had token minorities fighting for them. Believe it or not, there was black people who were dressed like Nazis, as the story goes, that were fighting for the Nazi army, and various other types of people. Okay. So should the Nazis be able to say, hey, they're not the only ones doing it. They're the main ones doing it. It's their culture. They're the governing grouping of the group. And basically there's white-only groups, just like there are white-only secret societies to this day that are involved in governance. Okay, pretty straightforward. So we look at the trickle-down effect. The Tonya Harding effect, right? They sabotage other people. Should Tonya Harding be seen as, should she be allowed to win the Olympics that year when she sabotaged? No. If it has a lasting generational effect, should her offspring be allowed to win? No. The white, Jew, and LGBT community, with all due respect, because of cultural complicity and commonalities, okay, has the Tonya Harding effect. So when they win anything, it is first and foremost because they sabotage other groups of people. If you don't know that I'm right, my goodness, you've lost your mind. If we see crypto lines, they're patriarchal lines, right? Someone's part white, part black, and they're from the white race. You know, their father's white, okay, rather. Then we see that they cannot have any true victories. This is what happens when you sabotage people specifically for racial supremacy in a calculated manner over generations. So they might not be the only ones doing it, but they're the most ruled out, them and their offspring. And this has everything to do with rape by deception. Because as they sabotage other people with psychology, with drugs and coercion and economic sabotage and so on and so forth, and they then turn around and say, hey, we deserve the most attractive women because we have it together in a white racist society. Or even today in the headlines, it should be on the screen, that racism, rape, and hazing go hand in hand. And these are fraternity and social club traditions, basically first and foremost. And they're pervasive in society, as society is dominated by social clubs, fraternities, secret societies, corporate groupings, what have you. So let's also look at the idea of a spirit. A spirit has been defined as a dominant principle or a prevailing tendency, right? And they talk about the spirit of 1776. They're talking about dominant principles and prevailing tendencies. So if you're in the spirit of being white or Jewish or LGBT, what dominates you if not the governing class? Okay, with black people, it's a little bit different in America, where they're not quite the governing class. They're dominated by the spirit of white, Jew, and LGBT people. Thus the phrase token minority. Pretty sure we can all agree on that. It's not racist, it's just the truth. So the people who are submissive and they lack the willpower, okay, to face persecution, it is pretty straightforward that they are in the spirit of the oppressor and they have submitted, so to speak, they have bent over for it. And when we look at the history of them bending over for, they can't make a mind control excuse. They say, well, today there's, these days they're using mind control. Well, you come from a long line of people that bent over for them, pal. I'm saying? I think it's pretty straightforward.